then you need global problems to which you can offer global solutions. And there are many and various, but one of them that I've highlighted over the years is a pandemic, which ticks every single box of problem, reaction, solution in terms of creating a Orwellian global state. We know, of course, that China is an authoritarian, tyrannical dictatorship. But if you look at what's happened since the coronavirus outbreak, they have excelled themselves, even by their standards, in terms of imposition of the state on the people. And we're already seeing, as it starts to seep out into other areas of the world, the authority and the public reaction, which both of them are incredibly predictable. You are seeing more and more suggestions that an authoritarian approach is necessary to protect the public from the virus. I'm even reading articles, Gaz, one I remember by a couple of idiot academics, that flying is so dangerous in terms of passing on the virus that only vaccinated people should be allowed to fly. And the potential for we must do this to protect you is enormous when you're dealing with a situation like this. And so who benefits from what is happening currently? Anyone that wants the excuse to impose more and more dictatorship on the public globally. And it's all, like everything in this conspiracy, it's a psychological game. And the human psychology that is mercilessly manipulated, absolutely in what we're seeing now, is this what appears to be innate fear of death, which comes from an innate fear of the unknown. And so the potential for imposing a global Orwellian lockdown is not only enormous in terms of the excuses to do it, but you're going to get massive public support to do it. Because they're going to be saying, indeed, you're starting to see it. Do anything, just basically save us. And so we have this, this cocktail of psychology, which is potentially a precursor to a massive expansion of public control. You also have in this agenda that I've been pointing out for 30 years, and particularly I've emphasized it since the financial crash of 2008, that there is a plan for a massive financial crash, much bigger than 2008, to provide a problem reaction solution to impose a whole new economic order. And when you look at what is being suggested as a solution to climate change, this human-caused climate change hoax, they are saying we need a new economic order. Now, what are we seeing already in the early stages of this coronavirus situation? We're seeing big impacts on the financial markets, and potentially because what has been happening for a long time is that these major corporations and companies have been moving their production and becoming dependent for their supply line on China. So now China's in upheaval. That is having a knock-on effect big time to the rest of the world, and potentially it could get a hell of a lot worse. So wherever you look, you have this this potential of problem, reaction, solution to impose the very Orwellian global state that that I've been warning was planned. And the other thing that you have in a situation where we've got this problem, so we have to impose this authoritarianism, is that even when the quote problem is passing, the authoritarian impositions to deal with the problem don't get rolled back, or at least don't get rolled back to where they were before. So in terms of who benefits, there's only one group of people who benefit from what is happening, and that's anyone that wants to have an excuse to create or move further towards this global Orwellian state. And you know, I've highlighted over the years in the books insiders who've actually talked about one of their plans is to release viruses into the public arena. There was a guy called Dr. Richard Day, who was a big Rockefeller insider, and he told a meeting of pediatricians in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1969, a series of things that all have happened or are happening in detail. And one of them was that they were going to introduce diseases to the population via inoculation. And we shouldn't forget either that, you know, I've talked at length about the Project The New American Century, this organization set up in America, which listed the countries for regime change and said we have to have a massive event like a Pearl Harbor to justify it. And they said this in September 2000. And a year later, they had 9/11, which justified the list of countries that have been pursued and many overthrown ever since. But there was something else in that document, which, again, could well relate to the current situation. And to give you the exact quote, the Project The New American Century document talked about the development of advanced forms of biological warfare that can target specific genotypes and may transform biological warfare from the realm of terror to a politically useful tool. And the people that wrote this are still walking the streets and not under psychiatric care, because before people dismiss any of this stuff, they need to grasp the scale of psych